trees are learning. From autumn tones that the cold is coming. In secrecy, a welcome gather. Of canopies into watercolor. Burn me again, 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 again. Burn me again. The almanac for garden glory. Why tell the truth when you could tell a story? Shivering, the rain is slowing. Lingering, braving, knowing that you'll need to burn me again, 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 again. Burn me again. Burn me again, 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 again. Burn me again.
Hey, Elijah.
Hey, Ben.
Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, that was super great. So you're not from around here, are you?
No. No, I'm from Cleveland. Not originally, but I live in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm a Clevelander now.
Clevelander? Yeah. Wait, how long have you been in Cleveland?
Like 15 years. So it's like I've put in my time to call myself a Clevelander, I think.
Yeah.
It's been long enough.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, so tell us about the song you just played.
Yeah, the song Burn Me Again is from a project that's called Therapy Volume 2. It's not released on any streaming platforms or anything like that. I was going through this phase of life and just like creativity that I didn't want to do the streaming thing for a while.
Yep.
And so I kind of had the idea to do the opposite of like this exclusive type of release. So I was actually talking with a buddy one day and just kind of randomly said, what if a release was just recording 50 cassettes and like that was it? That's all that would ever be heard. And in that moment, as the idea came out, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I have a Patreon membership. And so the approach that I took was recording live a cassette for every single Patreon supporter. So each one is the same songs, but they're, nuanced, different. So two of my good friends, Nate Saggio and Dylan Glover, were kind enough to join me on this escapade, and we drove down to Kentucky, rented a cabin, set up a bunch of live gear, and recorded it all straight to cassette. And it was one of the craziest and most fun weekends ever, because we recorded, I think, 35 cassettes.
Wow.
And like basically 12 a day.
Yeah.
And it's like a 35-minute thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
we'd put in the blank cassette, hit record, play the set, stop it, set it aside, put in a blank cassette, hit record, do it all over again,
Yeah.
And yeah, so those songs only exist in physical form for people who at the time were Patreon supporters. And if you become a Patreon supporter now, you get a digital version of it.
Yeah.
Which is still cool. But
Yeah.
I love, it's a day there. Sometimes it's a daily battle. It's like, oh, I could go ahead and release those. That's fine. Like, I really enjoy the songs. I'd love for them to be on streaming platforms, but then it's still like, no, they exist in that space and that space only. And that continues to feel cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you were recording all them, you get 25 takes in. Where's your head? Like, what's your headspace? I guess, yeah. What did you learn about the recording process and even just art in general, I guess, from doing that? Because it is super cool.
Yeah, it's a great question, or kind of two questions. We would give ourselves milestones, like, we want to watch the Cavs game tonight, so like we got to get through the next 4 takes, not to rush it, but it's just like, don't mess this one up.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, like, surprisingly so, we had very few technical difficulties. We had been rehearsing a bunch, so like we didn't have I don't think we had any takes that we had to stop because something messed up.
Yeah.
Which I'm really thankful for. And the only technical difficulty was the very first take. I forgot to hit record on the cassette player.
Oopsie.
But luckily, I realized that within during the second song or something. So
yeah.
So I think milestones, having like achievable milestones. I know that's like not that creative, romantic sounding thing, but like when you're staring down a big project, like having that milestone of this that feels attainable in that moment. Instead of, it's like if I'm recording a big project, I feel like such a common thing to do is like have a whiteboard and be like, on this song we need drums, bass, guitar, piano, synth. Yeah. And it's like you see the project as a whole, but then you can, zero in on getting that one checkbox,
Yeah.
So I think what I learned about creativity is it's okay to like be logistically minded to ensure that you get done what you want to get done.
Yeah.
But also, like, on the romantic side of things, it's like, it's really fun. It could sound extremely boring to play the same songs over and over again, but it really isn't. Like, I was with people that I adore. Yeah. They're so fun, great musicians. And so it's like the time of my life, It's just a great weekend. So it's okay to be logistically minded and surround yourself with people that you love. And I promise you it'll be fun.
Dang. All right. Okay. Well, yes. Okay, that's super awesome. And I feel like, even just listening to just the whole concept, it just kind of makes me think about like why we even record music in the first place. If you think about when they started recording music, the function of it was, hey, we like this song, we want to be able to like listen to it, and so you just set up a who even knows what in the room, you play it, and then there's probably some shit in there, but it's fine,
Right.
And then we nowadays we have studios like this, and we have our little computer game, and it's like, it turns into like a science project or something, and like it is cool to make it that way because you're like crafting the final thing, and it's really cool. But
I think I guess just to jump in, I think there's something about, I won't go on a 20-minute rampage here, but I'll try and be quick about it. There is something that's what we do is kind of silly, because we have this digital gear, we have the ability to make pristine recordings. And then we're like, we want it to sound like it used to. So then we put like a cassette effect on it or a vinyl thing or whatever it is.
Yep.
And part of that's fine, right? It's like, I'm not knocking that. I've done that countless times. Yep. But I think that other than like whatever that vibe is, or like whatever that, if it's supposed to feel nostalgic or it's supposed to felt like lived in or something like that. Whereas before it had to feel that way because like they weren't focused as much on like high fidelity. They were like, this is what we have.
Yep.
Here's the performance. So I feel like back then, and I'm no historian, but this is just how I feel, they were capturing moments.
Yep.
where what we're doing now is like filling a prescription.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And so like the capturing of a moment, I feel like it's always going to feel more powerful to the listener.
Yeah.
And that definitely played into the idea and like stubbornness to go through with the execution of, doing all of that. Because it was like I'm recording this sequence of songs for you. You're the only person that will hear this version of it ever.
Yep.
So it's like very much like marking that moment.
Yeah.
And it's not all of the digital stuff is like filling a prescription. I guess I'm being dramatic by saying that.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it definitely can be. That is very, very cool. And can you tell me how, expand on how does that fit into Elijah Bisbee and what Elijah's doing? And, and maybe expand a little bit more about what have you done? Because you have your Elijah Bisbee, you have other stuff, tell me more.
Yeah. Well, you had Chris Bartels on here recently, and I don't have as many monikers as that guy does.
That's okay.
I don't know that. Shout out, Chris.
Yeah.
No, so I have a couple projects that I released music under. One specifically recently is called Elatin, and it's with one of my dear friends, Justin, and we actually similarly we just released an EP, and the premise for that EP was we rented a cabin, and you see this through line in my life for some reason. It's fun.
Wait, where were you this weekend?
In a cabin.
Oh, okay, got it. More on that later.
Yeah, more. That's funny. We rented a cabin and went and took up all of our gear and a bunch of stuff, but we very specifically had the constraint, like, do not come with any ideas. Mm-hmm. And we set a time frame for ourselves we'll have 5 days to write, produce, mix, master at least 5 songs was what our goal was. So we showed up to the place, and those things where it's like, oh, I'm so excited to do this, and then you show up and you're like, oh shit,
that's a lot.
Like now we have to actually do it. It's like it's not in that like kind of fun idea phase anymore.
Yep.
But going back to the whole like, it's okay to be logistically minded. Like we had it planned out pretty clearly. Like you have 2 hours to do this idea, and then you pass it to Justin. Mm-hmm. Justin, you have this many hours to do this. Pass it to Elijah, so that then we could say, at the end of the first day and a half or whatever, we're gonna have this many ideas, and then that gives us some ability to say like, okay, we can set those ideas aside. We're gonna pursue these other ones, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So with that project, having the constraint of time and was great because it forced us to make creative decisions quickly because we had to.
Yep.
Self-imposed. So at any point in time, we could have just said like, "Screw this, we're gonna go home." But we didn't do that. And so what came from that specific weekend was a collection of songs that we're really proud of. Like we've said multiple times to each other that we kind of thought we would want to lead when we're telling people about the project. It's called Ashwire. When we thought, when we were gonna tell people about it, that we would lead with like the shtick, like we had 5 days to do da 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 da. And because what we realized though is that was our way to say like, don't judge us if it's not good. Mm-hmm. And when we got to the end of it, we were really proud of them. We're like, we actually don't care that it only took us 5 days, and we don't need to have that. We don't need to have that excuse to tell people because we're really proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And, okay, because one thing, and again, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but something I've really noticed from everything I know about you is, the way that you are able to structure creativity in a way that, like, doesn't feel forced, and it doesn't necessarily feel pressured. It's almost like, we were talking about It Follows.
Yeah, right.
And that just kind of what came to mind, like just this idea of like slowly and constantly moving, like just it's like, yes, it's at a pace that, okay, maybe it's a little bit maybe it's a little bit tiring, but like not really. But like I don't know. If you think about it, it's just like, dude, if you just walked 3 miles an hour straight for 2 days, you could go really, really far.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
like
If that's all you did. Yeah.
yeah. But
Sure.
but so yeah, just yeah. How to because it seems like in everything that I see you do, there is some element of having plan and structure, but it's like yeah. Ultimately, what you're doing is you're just breaking down the thing into smaller chunks, and like, yeah, is that just kind of how you are wired, or does that come from something, or
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's just a little bit how I am. But in a previous world, I was a corporate technical trainer.
Okay.
And so I didn't have to do a lot of instructional design, but I was, of course, a part of some of those conversations and then would have to execute it. And later I like kind of led the team of trainers and mentored and stuff like that. But so through that experience, I definitely learned the kind of like out of necessity, it's like, you got to learn this first.
right?
Because this step's just not going to make sense. And if you go to that step, you're going to get super frustrated because you just didn't start back here, which is a really simple concept. But I think certainly with creativity as a huge umbrella, but like every aspect of it, like if you don't, if you're learning Pro Tools for the first time and you don't like learn what I/O is, you're going to have a real hard time plugging in your guitar. So then you're going to get super frustrated, and, advance that fully on to like, you have a beat and a bass and you're like, why are these things competing? And then you try and do all this stuff, and it's like really like what you should have learned is side chaining.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't always know what the blocks are, right? Like so it can be a very like nebulous journey through all of that stuff. I don't mean to say like there's obviously this clear thing. Why doesn't everybody do it? That's obviously not true. But there is this like methodical sense of like, okay, instead of getting frustrated in a moment, it's like, okay, where did I step away from what I should have been learning? So I can come back to that.
Yeah.
Again, it's not always that like neat and tidy, but sometimes it can be.
Yeah. But I mean, artists in general, so many of them are like boo systems. Like that's taking away the whole point of all of this. And it's like, okay, you can just keep doing what you're like. You're but and I feel like this is something that in my journey from like artist creator into producer who also still does artist stuff, like it used to just kind of be like, okay, cool, I'll just show up every time and work on my stuff and then eventually it'll be done. But then now that I'm here, it's like, okay, it doesn't work like that anymore, like because it's like I'm working on all these other things with all these other people. But then I just notice in the projects that I do with other people, it's like, cool, you're on the calendar for these times, and all right, where are we at in the process? We are here, and yes, we will probably get these things done within these 1, 2, 3 sessions, and then we'll it just makes things go start to finish, and then like with myself, I'm just like, why am I not getting my stuff done? And it's like, oh, maybe because I just need to freaking treat myself as the client and put myself on the calendar and go through the systems, like.
Yeah, and to be clear, like I'm not always great at that. Like if it's project based, I can be really in that mindset, and other times exactly the same. Just not for a lack of wanting to get it done, but it's just like, you don't treat yourself as your own client,
Yep.
And I guess to be clear too, like there are definitely aspects of my life where I'm not afforded the opportunity to have a system in place, especially with like collaborations or sending something off to mixing. Like I was telling you about the project Elaton earlier, and we did the Ashwire EP, released it ourselves and all of that. We have a full length mastered, ready to go, and we're a little bit in a holding pattern because we're waiting on these different pieces and even getting it mixed and mastered. It's like, how that is. It's like usually doesn't happen as fast as you want it to, but it's fun. Like it's fine. And you don't want to burden the person because you want them to like your project. Like there's this whole like other aspect of those things. So I guess I'm saying that all to say like I'm not this like rigid like put your systems in place and you'll be fine. It's like sometimes you can't.
Mm-hmm.
But the other side of it too is actually Chris Bartels and I talked about this, I don't know, probably a year or two ago, where something that he does and or he used to, that I love is like he'll build in time to his day. It's like, this is just when I'm exploring. Like,
Yep.
I'm not doing it towards a certain project. I'm not doing it to fulfill. I'm not trying to trick myself, right?
Yeah.
It's like I have an hour to just explore.
Yeah.
So I think when you put that in your schedule,
Mm-hmm.
the schedule is not saying you can't explore. It's like you just have to put the time in to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And if you catch like this amazing thing and you're like, and you want to keep doing it, then it's like, yeah, screw whatever's on the calendar next. Like, obviously stay with that.
Right.
Like, so rules and systems are good, and both can and should be broken often.
Yep.
You know?
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then transitioning into yes, I mean how I originally met you was through your songwriting organization,
That's a fine word.
club.
Community.
That's not really a club. Community is
Yeah.
Terra songwriting. Man, I mean, okay. Tell us about Terra songwriting.
Yeah. Terra Songwriting, the boilerplate thing that if you went to terrasongwriting.com, you'd see is that Terra Songwriting is a growing community of hardworking creatives. We take each other seriously, we push each other, and we celebrate as often as we can the creative successes.
Yeah.
So really, it's just a group of people that everybody's, to their own degree, wanting to get better at their craft of songwriting. Mm-hmm. And I personalize it because everybody's different.
Yep.
We're not a masterclass based thing.
Mm.
Those things are super useful. There's plenty of them out there. I don't need to add to that noise, but I am very drawn to bringing people together to experience that together.
Yep.
And to be inspired by each other, to encourage each other, to see proof of what it looks like down the line if they keep at it.
Yep.
Or to be reminded of what it was like back then, to like have that first spark of like, I can do that. And it's like, well, when you've been writing for so long, those sparks still come, but it's like not as easily, or you get kind of a little dulled to them maybe.
Yeah. And so for people who don't know, like Terra, like there's like a retreat every 3 months ish. Yeah. And that's probably like the focus of it, and then there's the online groups. So
I would say like the cornerstone offering is the songwriting retreats.
Mm-hmm.
They're more or less quarterly.
Yeah.
That's where we just were.
Yep.
2 hours east of here in Wisconsin. And then about a year and a half ago, we started doing virtual songwriting groups, which are, at this point, they happen every month. And so essentially it follows like a similar model to the retreats where we all get a shared prompt. It's done on Discord, so you can be from anywhere. We often have people from all over. You get a prompt on Monday morning. You have a week to write the song. You submit it by Sunday. And then throughout that week, people are submitting their songs, listening to each other's songs, providing feedback, encouragement, sometimes criticism, depending on what each other's open to. We try and be really sensitive to that because it's a hard line to toe sometimes. Like, pure encouragement is good, but then you might be accidentally enabling a bad behavior. It's like people who genuinely want to be better, like want to hear like, hey, what, like, tell me why you made that decision, or like, what, did you try this too? Or even just sometimes asking that question, people can be like, oh yeah, you know what, like I knew that line was not quite it, like I need to spend some more time with it. But some people are like, I kind of just need to be celebrated because I haven't done this in a while. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's totally cool. Like, it's totally fine. So at the retreats and in the groups, we try and take that like early moment to say like, what can we do to be the most helpful, like the most supportive, which I think is extremely helpful. And then other than retreats and groups, I present concerts occasionally, do online contests occasionally, and then just other random kind of community-focused events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I think very highly of all the Terra stuff. And,
Thanks,
you
man.
know, I've been on 2 retreats now. I've done probably like 6 or so of the online groups. And yeah, I guess like in my experience, it's just been really cool. Just, yeah, truthfully, you can come to it at whatever level, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
The first retreat I went on, there was somebody who had never written a song.
Right.
And didn't play any instruments.
Right.
So, like...
And so, like, just to zero in on that for a second, like, the thing, that was such a good example of what happens at retreats, because people not only were like, oh, that's so cool, like, that you're going to write your first song this weekend. It's like immediate belief.
Yep.
And then multiple ideas from people of like, well, I see you have your iPad. Do you know about this app? And you can do this and it will do the chords for you. It's like, just like immediate, like, we want to be a part of your success.
Totally.
And not like, please don't pair me with this person during the collaboration
Right.
groups. It was like, please put me with them, because I would love to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And even people, there were people this weekend who had never been at a retreat. And it's like the same, I don't know if it's luck or if it's like people, people just, the right people find it. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
But it's like people just are ready to jump in and are ready to support each other at all levels.
Yeah.
And like this weekend, we had people there too who've yourself included, like, who've been writing for a really long time. So it's like there really is no floor that you have to meet, or like barrier of entry, and there's no ceiling too. Like,
Yeah.
there have been a few times where staff writers from Nashville have come, and they wanted to come because they were like, they needed some time for themselves and not writing lyrics for other people. But they've written hundreds or thousands of songs, and so it really is all levels, and that's the advantage, I think, of it not being masterclass focused, because there's not this curriculum that we present that you have to pass or master or anything like that. We certainly talk about relevant topics as they come up during the retreats, but it's much more like one-on-one anecdotal, rather than like, okay, class, now go to your workbook at page da-da-da, and we're going to talk about meter.
Yep.
It's like there's so much amazing content out there already for all of that stuff, And so the advantage of not being that is that any level can come, because it's about connecting with other people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, really with a focus on doing, and like doing quickly, but not for the sake of it being quick, but for the sake of, on the retreats, there's like speed writing sessions. Go write it. There's like I think like 5 of them over the weekend. You have an hour, write a song. Here's the prompt, go. And like, I feel like for so many people, they're just like, I can't do that.
Totally.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And so it scares them. And then the first one, they're like, I didn't get anything. And then the second one, they're like, okay, actually. And then it's like, as it goes on, you just like, those are just about like, just telling the editor, look, we really don't have time for you. Like, blah, 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 blah. And like, because anybody can spare an hour to write a song. You can do it today. Do it tomorrow,
Yeah.
I definitely the people who are songwriting bosses, and that's a moving target of a term anyways, but like people who feel like over a long period of time can embody what they're trying to say in their spirit or with their experience in song form, like, it's just about doing it a bajillion times. And keeping the muscle fresh. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, there's this quote from Joni Mitchell, which I'm going to butcher the quote, but I can share the sentiment, where she was essentially like, I don't really want to hear your song about complaining. Like, I want to hear your clarity. And I feel like that has been personally inspiring to me, because we can approach songwriting in a therapeutic way, which is really helpful in a lot of ways, and we can approach songwriting in, you know, the other opposite end of the spectrum is like sync music, you know, where it's just like, I'm happy today because I saw a squirrel cracking a nut or whatever, you know, like something where there's like no emotional content. And of course, it's a wide spectrum. But what I've been personally inspired by that quote or sentiment from her is like, it's okay to have these like highly therapeutic songs. I shared one this weekend. And just let it be what it is. It doesn't have to then be assessed to be like, okay, well then how do I bring that so it's like, so that I have clarity, so that then I can, it's like, no, it's like that song just is over here on this spectrum. And it wasn't complaining about it, but I say it as like highly emotional, you know? But then having clarity, her point is to like live through the experience so that then you are in touch with yourself and you kind of like holistically can understand it. So then you can say like, I actually like thought I was broken during that season, but actually like I see growth now that I'm looking back. And so like approaching that song or that story from the aspect of growth rather than, you know, being broken. There might be 400 songs about feeling broken, but once you have clarity, you're like, this is actually what it is. Any Joni Mitchell historians out there, if I got that completely wrong. Sorry, but that's how I've taken it, and it's been helpful.
Totally. Well, okay. I feel like there are a million things could talk about for a long time, but yeah, maybe we'll just start to wrap up. What is coming up for you in your world?
Great question. I'm about to fly home to Cleveland. That's in the near term. Longer term, we'll be releasing a full length with Elaton soon. I have a bunch of collaborations that are kind of out in the ether right now. Some of them are on that computer right there.
That's right. We'll drop those. We'll drop those.
No, those are super fun. All of which came from Terra songwriting groups, actually. Even the one with Tori. Shout out Tori. So that's all fun. I've been working with another friend in Cleveland too. Another new friend in New York. We have some stuff brewing. So yeah, right now, so much of what I do is collaboration focused. So what's next is taking steps towards finishing those. There's Terra songwriting groups every month. So no matter when you release this on Instagram or whenever somebody sees it, it's like, I guarantee you there's one coming up in a few weeks because there's one every month. And then retreats in 2026, January, April, July, and October. So that's broad strokes.
Sweet. Well, thanks for all that. Thanks for all the Terra stuff. Thanks for, I don't know, just being an awesome person. And best of luck with everything.
Thanks, man. And thanks for having me. And thank you for being a great person.
You're right. Oh my gosh. All right. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.